I am so excited and genuinely cannot wait to get on track at Caulfield this weekend. It's finally, spring is in the air and the spring horses are officially back, and finally we've got some cracking races, some new young blood, and it's so good to have the spring carnival starting even though it's still not spring yet. But cannot wait for racing this Saturday at Caulfield, and welcome to my Mounting Yard preview. Race 1 is part of the new Aspirant series. It's a benchmark 70 over the 1400 metres. First Mate and Belt Hill both looked really good last start, but they have had a gap between runs, so their fitness on the day is going to be really important. Rivkin, Magnetic Prince and Steel Jimmy, don't be concerned if you see these horses toey and warm. Race 3 is a benchmark 78 over the 1200 metres. Varvia, normal for her to get a little bit warm and sweaty pre-race. Anilla, he had really good improvement to come first up. He was a bit big in condition. He didn't have a whole lot of muscle definition. So hopefully with that run under his belt, he's a lot fitter, and we can see that from him on the yard at Saturday. And looking forward to seeing Climbing Star, Holy Mans and Calico Jack return to the races. These are horses I've always thought have a little bit of upside. They tick yard boxes. They're pretty straightforward gallopers, but they're also really nice looking horses. Race 5 is a benchmark 84 over the 1400 metres, and most of the runners key in the market are first up into their preparations, one of those being Amenable. He is totally fine if he gets a little bit toey and warm as well. He gets quite excited on race day and performs well regardless. Devoted, he's first up as well. Looking forward to seeing the manner in which he returns. And Carini is the intriguing runner in this race for mine, the stayer making his Australian debut. So looking forward to seeing the condition Carini's in as well. Race 6 is the Regal Roller Stakes over the 1200 metres, and it's our time, a horse we've seen plenty of over the winter months. So his yard isn't going to be really telling on the day. It's normal for him to get toey, but he's hard fit and maintaining really well despite being deep into his preparation. So your form's going to be your best guide for It's Our Time. Thunder Beauty, really looking forward to seeing this girl make her Australian debut as well. First up, Detonator Jack. He can get a little bit toey, fresh, and that's completely normal for him, and he's another horse I've always really loved in the Mounting Yard. He's a beautiful animal and he ticks a lot of boxes, but yeah, don't be concerned if you see him quite energetic to be back at the races. And Laced Up Heels, she's another one who can get quite toey and warm as well, and she performs well like this. Race 8 is the Group 3 Vein Stakes for the 3-year-old boys over the 1100 metres, and I cannot wait to get into this Mounting Yard. It's obviously going to be crucial on the day with the majority of runners first up into their spring preparations. Little Bros, he's not anything special to look at in the Mounting Yard. He's quite a plain type despite being a grey, as we know I all love, and he can get a little bit tense and toey as well, so completely normal for him to parade like that. Cylinder, can't wait to see this horse. He's an absolute gentleman. He does everything right in the Mounting Yard, and he's a really beautiful looking horse. Cracker Rib, saw him get quite toey and warm once last preparation, and he didn't quite perform as well on that occasion. So I'm going to look to see him a bit more relaxed and conserving his energy here first up. I Am Unstoppable. He's an absolute dude, this horse. He's a magnificent specimen. He's a beautiful thoroughbred, and he's another one who's an absolute professional. He just drops his head and cruises around the Mounting Yard. So really looking forward to seeing his return. She Light, quite similar, a big strong boy, has good condition on him throughout his preparation, so can't wait to see the manner in which he comes back. Ouroboros, he is a beautiful colt, but he's also an absolute handful. He gets very worked up, very toey, he gets very warm. He was actually dripping last start, but as we saw, he won like this, and he looked outstanding physically. He had this gleam to his coat, so he's had 4 weeks between runs, which I think is going to be perfect for him. VC looked outstanding last preparation as well, and the other one first up. Race 9 is the feature event on the card, and that's the PB Lawrence Group 2 over the 1400 metres, and boy is this a cracking edition of the race. I can't wait for this Mounting Yard. I'm obviously going to be a little bit biased and a little bit distracted with my boy Tuvalu going around now. All reports from the stable is that he's come back bigger and better and stronger. He obviously had those few health niggles last campaign, and we've got those sorted. He's really healthy, and we've definitely gotten on top of those. So he's coming back in his best possible health. Lindsay has been quite honest and forthright with the fact that they haven't done as much work with him as they would have liked, just due to it being so wet down and Warrnambool, and that's the main question mark, is how forward he's going to be and whether or not he's going to benefit really from the run. And he's also got a bit of a sticky barrier. But my favourite jockey, Blake Shin, is on board, and I can't wait to see my boy Tuvalu return. And we know he's really good fresh. He is a horse that is best with a little bit of condition. It's just a matter of how much improvement he's going to have with him on the yard, as is the case with the other key runner in the market, and that is Mr. Brightside, who's undoubtedly the best horse in the field, despite me not being so happy about it. He is probably a better horse than Tuvalu, and he's got a huge spring campaign ahead of him. He's a horse that's a big, strong, solid boy. He tends to hold weight throughout his preparation, but he will be on the bigger, burlier side first up, but this does not stop him from running a cracking race. He can also be a little bit fresh first up. He can get a little bit warm. That's not a concern either, but the key for him is to see him nice and relaxed, because he's a really chilled horse normally, and I think that's the key to seeing how he returns. But yeah, can't wait to see the return of Mr. Brightside and my boy Tuvalu. Aegon, also first up. Don't be deterred if you see this horse getting warm. He is a bit of a free sweater. And Attrition, I've seen this colt parade at 5 of his 6 career starts, and he's an absolute gentleman. He is very professional. He's an absolute athlete as well, type-wise. He's a really good-looking colt. And he's a colt that never has a huge amount of condition such as Brightside, just due to him not being the same size of horse. So I expect him to be quite forward, and yeah, really looking forward to seeing Attrition return as well. Race 10 is a benchmark 100 over the mile, and Berkeley Square, he's here second up. Actually laid him from the mounting yard for Betfair first up. I had just seen him return in better condition last campaign. He was lacking a little bit of strength. He got quite warm. He had quite a bit of a barrel on him and had basically heaps of improvement to come. He ran 4th on that occasion, so it was definitely a pass mark, but I think second up here, back up to the mile, which really suits physically. I think I'm looking forward to seeing a really forward, improved showing from Berkeley Square. Right you are, first up. Love this horse from the mounting yard. He's just a delight to watch parade. He is very straightforward and he ticks all of the boxes, so can't wait to see him return. We saw how dynamite he was last campaign. Jimmy the Bear has been looking spot on his last few, so your form's definitely going to be your best guide for him. He's hard fit. Ulysses, he got really toey and warm last start, which isn't something I'd seen him do before. So I'm going to be looking to see Ulysses not warm and much more relaxed. Deny Knowledge, on the other hand, it's normal for her to get toey and warm. She performs well like this. He's the real deal. He came in really late last start and basically went straight out with the pony. So if you want to have a look at him, make sure you get to the mounting yard nice and early and try and catch a glimpse of him before he goes out, and don't be concerned. This is very normal, and toey is also normal for him. Well, that's a wrap on this week's mounting yard preview. I cannot wait to get on track to Caulfield at Saturday, and I really encourage, if you can, come on down to Caulfield and have a look at the magnificent horses we've got returning. It's going to be a sensational day of racing, and it really is the start of spring with all these spring contenders coming back, and I really can't encourage you enough to come on track and see these animals. It will be worthwhile. They're beautiful horses, and it's going to be a really cracking day of racing, particularly from the mounting yard as well. Stay tuned to Betfair and myself's Twitter, so where I'll be posting the live mounting yard updates as well, and go Tuvalu!
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.